Hey, yo, it's Big Dev, 1/4 of the DMST podcast, and welcome to Black and White, No Shades of Gray. Now, if you do listen to our podcast, first of all, thank you. If you listen and watch the podcast, we greatly appreciate it. But we do record our pod on Sundays. Sundays at 6 p.m., 6-ish, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes you record the pod on Sundays and you're done around 7:30, 8 o'clock, you got an entire week, and things happen. You know, you want to give maybe your opinion on something, you want to have a talking point on something, but I mean, 6, 7 days sometimes pass in between times we record. So sat around and said, you know what, let's create something where we can tap in to the culture, lend some opinions here and there, you know what I'm saying, during the week. So that is Black and White, No Shades of Gray. What we will attempt to do is weed through the bullshit and get to some real talking points, have some fun from time to time, you know what I'm saying, but not let these situations come up and then kind of vanish in thin air where you late talking about them, you know what I mean? And the stuff this week is heavy. This was pre-planned to talk about, you know what I mean, the Deshaun Watson situation. For those who know, we are in Cleveland, so Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. 22 sexual assaults, allegations, 22 sexual assault allegations. And HBO had the Real Sports piece on him on Tuesday night. We was like, you know what, you know what I'm saying, after that airs, we'll you know, digest it for a little bit, give our ones and twos on it. But then Tuesday happened, you know what I mean? Like 11:30, I think it was around 11:30 a.m. on Tuesday in Uvalde, Texas. 18, 19. It's crazy, man. You kind of lose count. School age children. You know, I'm in the second, third, and fourth grade school. You know what I mean? And the teacher. I think a couple other adults lose their life to gun violence, to senselessness, man. It's crazy. It hit home a little bit for me. I personally am in education, you know what I mean? In elementary school education, you know what I mean? So being in a building around that same age, you know, it hit. And then I have a daughter that's in the third grade going to fourth grade. And, you know, these things happen. We tend to, you know, our news cycle goes to talk about it. We talk about gun reform, all this political stuff. Then it kind of dies down. The thing that really got to me on Tuesday was there was a lady on one of the news networks, and she was saying, like, you know, we can talk about all the political stuff all we want to, right? But when we get down to it, there are parents who are sitting outside of the school waiting, hoping, praying that their kid is let out of the door. They are praying that the next time the door opens that their kid is the one that walks out. And upwards of 18, 19 families never got the chance to see their kid walk out the door. That hit, man. I pick my daughter up pretty much every day from school. Pretty much every day. And the happiness, the way she runs out, she's so happy every single day. If that somehow went away, you know what I'm saying? Man, oh man, oh man. It's just heavy. And it puts stuff into perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like the Deshaun Watson stuff is obviously a serious topic, heavy subject, something that we wanted to carve out some time for, but life has a way of prioritizing things. Like, yeah. I mean, listen. We do not want these things to be true in the Deshaun Watson. Oh, let me rephrase that. We want justice to be served in whichever way it sees fit. You understand what I'm saying? Whether he assaulted the women, then he needs to serve the consequences. And if he didn't, well, that's a whole nother conversation, because some people need to serve some consequences, but the way the system is set up, he'll probably just get found innocent or whatever, and nothing will ever come of it. But in these situations, in the Texas school shooting situation, there shouldn't be, and in my view, there is not, opposite sides of the coin, opposite sides of the argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids should not go to school and have to fear for their life. I picked my daughter up from school today. Every single day I ask her the same question: what'd you learn today? Sometimes it's, we learn perimeter and diameter. We learn about Crispus Attucks. We learned about this person, that person. We learned about this. Today she told me that they got to school, they ate breakfast, and for 2 hours they talked about safety, being safe in school, what to do if somebody comes into school with a gun. It's just, man, she's 8, man. She's 8 years old. You know your kids eventually have to grow up. They eventually have to experience things they've never experienced before. But man, oh man, oh man, can we hold off on her having to feel for her life? Can she get to middle school? You know what I mean? It's crazy, man, because you go through all this stuff coming from where me and a lot of my peoples come from, coming from East Cleveland or any inner city in the country. You don't have to be East Cleveland, but we love EC so much, man. But you come from a place like that, and the whole goal is to make sure your kids don't have to grow up in fear. You don't want fear of the community. They have to learn and get better at stuff because they're kids, but that same fear you had going to the corner store, you know how that feels. That overarching, like, I'm out here playing, but hey, I'm on Superior and Euclid in the middle of East Cleveland. Shit could pop off at any second. That feeling is something I don't ever want to experience again. I don't want my kids to have to experience. And the fact that they have these conversations for hours. She said they talked about it for 2 hours. All they did was talk about that and went to lunch. That's what the morning was. And it's crazy because on one hand, it's like, man, I don't want to have to go through that. But on another hand, if it takes all morning for the kids to get their fears out, their feelings out, to come to a better understanding of what's what, you know what, man? And I guess that's what we got to do. Because just like, people talk about, they need to do something in Washington and all this shit, man. All this bullshit. Listen, the one thing you do get in spades when you come from an EC or any kind of inner city is you understand ain't nobody coming with a cape to save your motherfucking ass ever. Never. You got to be prepared at all times. Head on the swivel at all times. So for the people that's out there looking for something to be done, listen, I can tell you from experience, they ain't nobody coming with a cape on. The government ain't coming with no cape on. It's not happening. We as the people going to have to figure something out. We're going to prepare our kids. We're going to have uncomfortable conversations. Thank God that her teacher did, but teachers and educators going to have uncomfortable conversations with kids, with babies, about safety, gun violence, death, murder. We're going to have those conversations in layman's terms. Because the thing about the Texas shooting the other day, it's not just the kids who were killed and the adults who were killed. It was the kids who had to witness the kids be killed and the adults be killed. It's overarching. It lasts forever. So hopefully we can find a silver lining in it. Make sure we prepare our kids. It's a tough one though, man. It's a tough one. But what it does do is it doesn't lessen, it doesn't minimize the Deshaun Watson stuff at all or any other news story. It just puts stuff into perspective. Sometimes some things hit different. Sometimes some things catapult to the top of the totem pole. And this story for me is, a lot of them don't go away. But this one in particular, I don't know if it was the time of year. I don't know. I don't know why this one hit different, but this one will never go away for me. So usually, my bad for that, man. Usually, we're going to try to have Black and White, No Shades of Gray be a little bit more fun and a little bit more opinionated. But it's no way around this one. And this one couldn't wait. This one couldn't wait to Sunday. So, hey, for anybody that watched this, man, for anybody that supports DMST, for anybody that watches the podcast, look, have a look out for Dope Mind Sober Thoughts. We have the interviews. We have the Dope Mind Sober Thoughts podcast, which is a new situation where we sit down and we talk to some of the dope artists and just people in the city that's doing good stuff and all around the country, man. But, you know, we got to put the city on. We got to have conversations with the people here in the city. And then we move accordingly. And please don't forget Pod and R&B. Come on out to Pod and R&B. Our next one, if you're seeing this, either probably come out late Wednesday, early Thursday. So if you're seeing this, you still got a couple more days to get some tickets. Pod and R&B on Saturday. It's a unique musical experience. I'm telling you, it's dope. Something like you've never experienced when it comes to podcasting and music. So shout out to the homie Brainstorm for the kickoff idea. It's just a very dope vibe. So grab a ticket, only $10. Come on out. We got stuff to drink for you. We got some food, roses for all the ladies. So come on out and kick it and have some fun, man. Clear your mind, have some fun. I need to have some fun. I know I need to have some fun this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's BigDev, man. As always, I'm just trying to spread love in a world full of hate. I love y'all. If you don't love me back, it's cool. My mama do. Like my pops always say, do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, whether you like it or not. Thank you. Oh, Black and White, No Shades of Gray.